So what is the Irvine coffee scene like? Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to cover my top 5. Surprisingly, Irvine does have a pretty nice coffee scene. So I am just going to cover the top 5 of my favorites. Hi, I'm Giselle and I am a local resident, been living in Irvine, Orange County for the last 2.5, 3 years. And I'm originally from the Bay Area. I've also lived in Fort Lauderdale and LA. So let's go ahead and get started here. Oh, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's right down below. And this way you'll find out of all things living in Irvine, posting videos on a regular basis, just giving you an idea of what it's like to live here. So subscribe and that way you'll get notified. Okay, so here we go. Now, if I have to go to a coffee chain, I am the type of person that between Starbucks, Coffee Bean, which is really popular here in Southern California, and then Pete's, which is popular throughout California, I would more than likely choose Pete's. I am also the type of person that will order an Americano. So, maybe that gives you a little bit of an idea of what my tastes are like. The other thing that I would say is that, when I lived in LA, my favorite coffee spots were Groundworks and Intelligentsia. So that might help a little bit. And I am a fan of Phil's Coffee. Okay, which is Bay Area based. All right, so number 5 on my list is Kona Coffee. There are multiple locations here in Irvine. The one that I have gone to and the one that I enjoy is the one in Diamond Jamboree, and that is off of Jamboree and Alton. Kona Coffee, just like it suggests, it is Hawaiian. So when you go in and you look at the menu, the foods and everything are going to be Hawaiian based. So anything that you can think of that are traditional, Spam, eggs, that with rice, that is what you're going to see on the menus. The coffee is really good. So I actually, in this place, I would recommend getting the regular coffee, which is something that I don't normally, I typically will order an Americano when I go somewhere. So I typically don't just order coffee, but their coffee is good. So I would order a coffee or to give that a try. And they have multiples for you to choose from. It's a friendly staff, and it's usually pretty quick. Generally, when I visited, it has been on a Saturday morning, and so at that time, it's never super overcrowded. You can get in and get out, and it's a cool little vibe. They do have little barista tables outside, so you can hang out inside or outside. Number 4 on my list is 𝙗𝐵 and that is on the other side of Irvine in the Irvine Spectrum. And this one is, just like the name kind of suggests, you're thinking of European coffee house, so the nice little mugs, with the saucers, and they have really good pastries, and you get to sit outside or inside, and it's just the ambiance, it's just really calming, but the coffee itself is really delicious as well. So I would certainly give that one a try, and definitely a place if you want to relax and hang out for a bit, whether it's on your own or with others, it'd be a fun place. Number 3 on my list is probably a surprise to some of the locals because I don't know that you would necessarily think of it as coffee, but Tastea is one on my list, and that's TASTEA. And they do have a lot of teas, and they have a lot of matcha. So they also have artesian coffee. So I think it's the best of all worlds, especially if you're going to be visiting with someone who doesn't appreciate coffee to the same degree that maybe you do or that I do. This is a great option because they do have some really good matcha, and they also have some amazing lattes, tea lattes, as well as just coffee. So they have really great coffee options there as well, and it tastes good. Number 2, I don't even know how to say this one, so don't make fun of me. Or maybe you can comment below and tell me how you're supposed to say it. But it's BLK or Black Dot Coffee. I'm not sure. Some people say BLK. I've heard Black Dot. I don't know actually how it is. So I'm going to say BLK Dot Coffee. But they have one in Irvine. They have one in the Google Center. They probably have a couple of other locations here in Irvine and surrounding areas. This place is delicious. It's amazing. Everything I've tried there, I've really enjoyed. And the one thing that I would say, if you like sea salt coffee, if you haven't tried it, but you like sea salt, definitely give that a try. Either hot or cold, it is so good. The other thing that they are really well known for, they do have an iced tea tea that has like little mango chunks in it. That's really delicious as well. But the other coffee to get there is the Vietnamese. And I want to say that the Vietnamese iced coffee is their most popular drink. I might be wrong there, but it is definitely one to try. And if you're like me and you like Americanos, they have a really good Americano there as well. But I definitely would say if you want to try, that is at the top of my list, so go for it. And then my number one coffee choice, given the choice for locals, so not including some of these other places, local coffee spots, it's technically outside of Irvine, but I mean, it's on the border and you literally cross the street and you're in Irvine, so I'm gonna count it. And that is at the district, and it's Portola Coffee House. So if you go to Portola Coffee, it is amazing. Like, talk about legit Americano. I like European and Australian Americanos. So they do the espresso shot, a little bit of water. That is what I go for. That is my favorite. I don't add anything to it. And Portola Coffee House does that. Like, they don't water it down too much. They have fresh brews on a daily basis. They have different selections for cold brews. And just the coffee in general is next level. So it's just a really, really good coffee house. They also have different iced teas. So every day that you go there, the brewed iced tea is going to be different. And everything I've tried has been delicious. So I would say, if out of all of these places, if you're going to go somewhere, you really need to go to Portola, and then 𝑏lk.coffee is at a very short second. So those are my top 5. I would love to hear what your favorites are. If you have been to any of these, comment below and let me know what your drink of choice is, because I would love to try it the next time I go. And then also, if there's one on here that I haven't listed, I know there's a lot of new ones that are popping up, a lot of coffee house that are popping up just left and right, and I just haven't had a chance to check them out. So if there's one that I should be checking out, put it down in the comments below so that I can maybe revise this at one point and do something else. And as always, my info is down below, so feel free to reach out with any questions. Have a great day.